Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for the latest presentation of our NBA basketball. I'm Kevin Harlan along with Tim Legler and Greg Anthony. And our reporter on the sideline tonight, Allie LaForce. Let's take a look at the numbers for Dyson Daniels.
In the last 5 games, you can see the trend upwards for effective field goal percentage. And it shows you how confident he's playing right now.
A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. Johnson and Okongwu man the post position. Daniels out there with McCollum, and it's Alexander Walker in at the 3 spot. And for Boston, the guard pair, it's White and Brown. Jason Tatum is out there with Sam Hauser. And it's Queta in its center. And as the season ramps up, Tim, for players that might be on the move this summer, there's got to be, I would assume, a bittersweet feeling about that.
There's no doubt you head into the offseason at times, Kevin. You know, pretty good idea if you're going to be back or not, but for some guys, there's a very good chance you're going to end up in a different situation. The only constant in this league is change, so you better appreciate every stop as you go.
You're right on the money with that one. Here is Daniels. The 3 from McCollum. Johnson kicks to McCollum. A second chance effort. He takes it up and lays it in.
Nice play by McCollum. So crafty with the ball in his hands.
Tatum looking around. And he hammers that one down right in the face of Okongwu.
I'll tell you what, don't sleep on Tatum. He has some ups. And I love seeing him trying to electrify the crowd.
Let's see the connected cam angle on that stunning play, brought to you by AT&T. Now here's McCollum. Last game out, he had 40 points. Right side, Tatum. Brown outside. Over McCollum. Rebound by the Hawks. Their last encounter was in Boston, where they were able to handle the Celtics.
Not a close contest either. The last time they got together, everyone in the rotation played solid, and the bench was the difference.
And it means they will go deep into their bench again. It worked in the last matchup. Might as well spread more minutes around.
Daniels against Brown. Outside, White. With the drive, the kick out to Tatum. Sinks the three-pointer. Tatum's got 5 now.
Never a bad idea setting Tatum up.
Okongwu is now starting, Jim, and coming off the bench his first handful of seasons, I think got him ready for this role he's in right now.
He has been a good defender from day one, but his offensive game now starting to show some growth. He's stretching his shooting range, and he is showing you some growth as a playmaker as well.
Here's Brown, following the bucket by the Hawks. Pass to Queta. 4 on the clock. The Celtics need to get a shot off. And the Celtics hit again from deep.
A guy who shoots the 3 well, and without hesitation, defense can't afford to give Brown that much room.
And it's McCollum in the corner. From outside, off the mark.
Yeah, he has had a hard time finding rhythm this quarter. Just cannot get one to go.
Over to the left wing. Here's Hauser. He's coming off a 10-point game against Oklahoma City. Okongwu grabs the board. And so McCollum will bring it up for the Hawks. Trailing by 2. And it's Johnson with the jam.
He is soaring on that one. Johnson going up high to get his hands on it.
Here's White. Oh, Tatum in position. Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. And the basket by McCollum. McCollum's got his second basket of the night.
Beautiful transition offense there. That's execution at its best.
And it results in the highest percentage look you're going to get.
Now here's Tatum. Coming off a stellar performance against Oklahoma City. Here's White. Again, the miss by the Celtics. Atlanta's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. And that one's good. Daniels.
And as a scorer, Daniels can really work inside with that size.
Celtics trail by 4. White finds Brown. And it's Hauser in the corner. Shot clock at 6. Again, the miss by the Celtics. Hawks have gotten 6 of 11 shots to go down so far. Pretty nice shooting. And a wide open look for McCollum. Again, the Hawks good for 2.
Really tight handle right there by McCollum. He has every move he needs to find that open space.
Pritchard, he's checked in for Sam Hauser. Boston's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. Outside, White. Here's Keita, covered by Okongwu. And Keita gets it to go.
They found some room there along the baseline, some space at the rim, goes right up and puts it in without resistance.
And it's Alexander Walker in the corner. Johnson outside. His three-pointers off the mark. Celtics trail by 4. Round the pass to Pritchard. Over in the corner, White. A rebound by Johnson.
Well, the defense was solid, but usually I expect him to make that layup.
Off target from three-point range. For Boston, they've gone 4 of 10 shooting the ball here in the first quarter. And the officials will call the illegal screen right there. Well, you might have been wondering who the top scoring small forwards have been over the last 10 games. Wonder no more. Here's a peek. Number 1, Jaylen Brown.
There is no doubt he is one of the league's most dynamic offensive players. I mean, he's capable of putting up some huge numbers from that wing position.
Well, he is certainly skilled, but what sets him apart is his relentlessness.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Releases. Gets that one to fall after missing his first 2. 1 for 3 from the field.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Yep, that one goes in there. McCollum's got 8 points.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
Celtics trail by 4. To the paint. Here's Keita. Good, and it's Tatum picking up the assist.
And that's exactly the type of pass we expect from a guy with his vision.
Last game for Boston, they picked up the W against Oklahoma City. McCollum against Pritchard. Count that one. He's got 10.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
And last season, Tim, Paul Millsap retired. He was an all-star in each of his 4 years in Atlanta.
Well, he helped guide the Hawks to the Eastern Conference Finals back in 2015. That team overachieved through chemistry, and this group hopes to do the same thing.
So it's Atlanta now. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
Well, you look at the points they produced in that game, great adjustments on the offensive end.
And the fact that they did all of that on the road was really impressive.
Okongwu with the screen from McCollum. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good. And the Hawks lead by 3. Boston's gone 3 of 4 on three-pointers in the first quarter, doing well from long range. Pritchard feeling it out a bit. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Boston shooting their initial free throws of the game right here. That free throw good from Pritchard. So it's both teams making substitutions here.
At the line for 2 shots.
Both free throws good from Pritchard.
And that's why you don't want to foul a guy like him. He is going to make those free throws.
There's the pick. Pass to Kispert. The Hawks working the ball around. And the dunk by Ricochet.
Yeah, if you give Ricochet a chance at the rim, he's going to make you pay.
And so White will bring it up for Boston. It's a three-point game. Here's Garza. He's defended by Landale. 5 on the clock. Back to White. Over in the corner, Pritchard. Can't tie it up as that one's no good. Atlanta leading by 3. Now here's Kispert. Here's Ricochet. And the 3 off target.
Yeah, but the defense was determined not to give him an inch of free space.
Pritchard finds White. Here's Walsh. No scoring in this one. Pritchard gets the bucket.
Punch, counter punch. Impressive offensive production early on.
Well, if you love high-scoring games, you came to the right place.
Tie game in Boston. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. Some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. And the Celtics guys, what jumps out to you, stats-wise?
Coming in hot. They were sharp from the perimeter right out of the gate.
When you spread the floor and force defenses to close out to the three-point line, it's going to create driving lanes.
So with Johnson on the bench, here's the 5 for Quinn Snyder right now. They've got Ricochet. Jonathan Kuminga out there with Jock Landale. Then it's Vincent, and it's Kispert in its small forward. Boston's gone 4-6 from outside the arc tonight. White the pass to Garza. Here's Pritchard. Pass to Garza. They set the screen. Fires away from way outside. Rebound by the Hawks. They host the Kings after this game. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand. We play just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter. Here's Kuminga. He's guarded by Williams. The Hawks need to get off a shot here. And here's Kispert from the arc. Rebound by Williams. Boston shooting well, 50% from the floor. And Derek White picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
Really just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the charge.
And the Celtics making a change here. Hauser's checked in. Here's Ricochet. Light covering. And the dunk by Kispert.
Very little resistance against that throwdown.
Nope, not what they want to see in a game this close, Greg.
When every possession matters, your defense has to be better.
Ricochet has done a lot to quiet the doubters after being the #1 overall pick in 2024.
Well, in a draft without a lot of star power at the top, the Hawks took the kind of prototype wing you can't have too many of. And he has made good on that pick.
And so it's Atlanta with it after the basket by Boston. And Quinn Snyder wants a timeout. He's going to have a discussion on the sideline. Brown is checked in for the Celtics. And then for Atlanta, Alexander Walker, he's checked in for Kispert. Tyson Daniels comes in for Zachary Ricochet. And it's C.J. McCollum in for Vincent. Here's Daniels. 14 points from him the last game against Detroit. Pass to McCollum. Shoots. And he wills that one in. Sinking right through off the back iron.
Well, that's part of what makes McCollum a great player. He can find a way to score off the ball. Brown outside. Shoots over Alexander Walker.
Here's Garza. Makes it off the glass. Garza's got it all tied up now for the Celtics.
Everybody appreciates that extra effort on the glass.
And here's McCollum for three. And Boston with the rebound. They want to keep rolling here following the win against the Thunder.
Yeah, in that game, I thought they took advantage of some sloppy play, but give them credit. They turned mistakes into points.
When you turn great defense into easy offense, you are going to put yourself in a great position.
Shireman, good.
That's a breakdown defensively. He is far too good of a shooter to leave that wide open.
Pass to Landale. To the middle. There's Kuminga. And Kuminga throws it down.
And there's Kuminga showing you how tough he can be. That's a great job converting through contact.
And the Hawks making a change here. Okongwu's checked in. On the free throw. No good. And Greg, you were a point guard. How has that position evolved over the years?
Well, if you think of how much more the court that has to be covered and the style, you have to score more now to play the position. I think shooting becomes incredibly important. And then defensively, with all the switching, you got to be able to hold up against size and play all over the floor.
Now Brown following the three-point attempt by C.J. McCollum. Brown. Okongwu grabs the board. Okongwu's now got his fourth rebound with that last one here tonight. And a wide open look for Daniel. And once again off the mark by Atlanta. Boston's gone 5 of 8 from three-point land. 15 points and a deep ball for them tonight. They set the pick. Here's Brown. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Brown's got the lead up to 3 now for Boston.
And you can tell Brown has a mind for the game. Calls the pick and roll and works it to perfection.
Alexander Walker on the wing. Floats it up for Kuminga. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
Yeah, just throw it up there and let Kuminga do the rest. What an athlete.
So it's the Celtics now. Brown with it. A 26-point game for him in the win against Oklahoma City.
And he was absolutely a menace defensively, disrupting the flow and nabbing a bunch of steals. Well, those are the ones you're happy to get every trip down the floor if you can.
Kuminga the pass to Alexander Walker. Kuminga down low. Hauser defending. And Okongwu slams it in.
Well, this is a good reminder for anybody who thinks he's too small for a 5. His athletic ability totally levels the playing field.
Here's Garza. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. The Celtics working the ball around now. Brown the pass to Garza. Tries again. Rebound by the Hawks. Okongwu's now got his 5th rebound in this one. Pass to McCollum. The shot's good on the assist by Daniel. McCollum's got 17.
Well, you're talking about a guy who's about 40% from deep over the course of his career. C.J. McCollum has been doing this at a high level for a long time.
Boston making some changes. Kate is checked in, and it's Jason Tatum in for Sam Hauser. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Jalen Johnson's checked in for Kuminga. Oh, and the jam by Johnson.
My goodness, Johnson is quick off the floor, and he has a lot of power.
Here's Tatum. 5 points in the game. Pass to Tatum. To end the run. The 3 is drilled by Tatum.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Okongwu with a screen on Pritchard. McCollum kicks to Johnson. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. That's on Jaylen Brown.
Well, as his game matures and he adds some strength, Jalen Johnson should be able to get to the line more often.
And Tim, breaking down Jalen Johnson's game, what jumps out to you?
Well, Kevin, I think it's his versatility. He can really do everything out there. And when you combine it with his size and athleticism, he's got star written all over it.
Here's Shireman. Here's Cada. Rebound by the Hawks. Okongwu's now got 6 rebounds here tonight. McCollum dishes to Johnson. Here's what the Atlanta Hawks have lined up on their schedule. On Saturday, they'll be matching up against DeMar DeRozan and the Sacramento Kings. And then on Monday, they'll be taking on Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics.
And that game against Brooklyn, this is one where it would take a complete meltdown for them not to come away with the win. Anything can happen, but I'd be shocked if they don't come out on top.
And stolen by Okongwu. It's time to send it over now to our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Thank you. Jason Tatum talked about his development since coming into the league, and he said earlier, I was playing the game just to play the game instead of thinking it. It's tough when you're younger. You just want everything to happen so fast, but it doesn't work like that. Back to you, Kevin.
He has come a long way. Okay, thank you, Allie. And look at how the hustle game has been going for the Hawks.
A huge part of their offense, pushing the ball. Looking for fast break opportunities, always a good idea.
And I like how they've played defense, turning turnovers into points. Those are huge.
Three-pointer, Daniels. The rebound by Jason Tatum. Tatum's got his 4th rebound in this one.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
.11 left to play here in the second quarter. Here's Okongwu.
Oh my goodness, he is such a great dunker.
Greg, a high riser, no doubt about it. Celtics trail by 4. Outside Tatum. Here's Cada. Nice pass. Run into the rack perfectly for the layup. Cada's got 6.
Yeah, and Tatum's passing ability really makes him a problem in that pick and roll. No wasted motion, always slicing and dicing the defense.
Now here's McCollum. He's got 20. And it's off from three-point range. Down low, here's Tatum. Tatum gets it inside. 29 seconds left to play here in the half. Alexander Walker finds McCollum. Again, the Hawks good for 2.
Well, he has dictated the tempo this entire quarter, getting basically whatever he wants offensively.
Over in the corner, Brown. Swiped it away. And here's McCollum for 3. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Hawks on top. They're up by 2. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half.
Welcome, everybody. And as we start to work our way through the season, a sneak peek at the Rookie of the Year race.
We're in the home stretch. I don't know if I call these guys rookies now.
Yeah, we have some pressure-filled games coming up. In addition to everything else, we'll see who has that clutch gene. And as we review this first half for the Celtics, still anybody's game.
What a job they did from three-point land. I don't know if they can keep this up, though, Kenny.
Yeah, it's hard to hit threes at this pace for a whole game, but hey, as long as you're hot, keep taking them.
And that'll do it for halftime. We send you back to Kevin Harlan, who has the second half call.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. You know, C.J. McCollum has been exceptional here, guys.
Really impressed with the shot selection through the first half, just taking what he can get from the defense.
And what more can you ask of him? That is helping out your team.
The talented wing pair of Brown and Tatum. Then there's Sam Hauser. Then there's Derek White. And it's Queta in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the Boston Five. The Hawks leading. Back to Alexander Walker. Back to McCollum. They double-team McCollum. Here's Alexander Walker. He's covered by Brown. McCollum, no good. And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up with the Celtics. They'll be off to Charlotte for a game against the Hornets. It sets in motion a 4-game road trip for him. White. The shot's good. Brown making the play. White's got 8 points.
Man, what a find by Brown, demonstrating a willingness to create for teammates.
Second half rolling along now. About a minute play here. Johnson outside. Back to McCollum. They double-team McCollum. And Okongwu slams it in. Neither side has relented a bit in this back-and-forth affair.
And you can sense the energy in the building already as this game is starting to build towards having a terrific finish.
And he banks in the layup. And it's a 3-point Hawks lead.
And the offense has just flowed through McCollum all night, whether that's finding people or repeatedly attacking like he does right there.
Boston's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. And here's Brown outside, and the Celtics hit again from deep.
Well, these defenders had better start closing down on shooting.
McCollum passes to Johnson. Here's Alexander Walker. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Brown on the drive. White wide open. He fires. And again, Boston with the triple.
The defense a step slow. You can see the result.
The Hawks trail by 3. Outside Daniel. To Alexander Walker. Oh, good on the 3.
Oh, you have a feeling this would be a completely different game if it wasn't for his brutal shooting performance.
Here's Hauser. Rebound, Atlanta. Okongwu's now got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Alexander Walker with the ball. Tatum on him. Celtics leading by 3. To Hauser. Some solid defense from Johnson.
That's an awesome defensive effort. A great contest right at the rim.
Daniel. Jaylen Brown with the rebound. The Celtics have gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter. 50% from the field. Little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third.
A supremely athletic player. Brown really stuck it to them there.
Oh, that's an outstanding view from the AT&T Connected Cam. The Hawks trail by 5. Pass to Alexander Walker. And Quinn Snyder wants a timeout. Coach is going to talk some things over with the team. Might be seeing something to adjust. And now let's check out the standings in the Eastern Conference and see how the playoff race is shaping up. We take a look at the Celtics. They're second in the conference and looking to finish strong heading into the playoffs. And, of course, Atlanta, just a few spots below there.
And I think for the Hawks, they're in good position, firmly in the playoff picture. They don't have to worry about the play-in scenario at this point. And that's how they want to keep it.
And here's Boston. It's been 8 unanswered points for him. Hey, Greg, kind of a combo forward. Tatum at 6'8", more than capable, playing up at the power forward position.
And that's where he's mostly played the last few seasons. And his rebounding is more than just serviceable. Credit him for the strength he's added over his career.
Here's Alexander Walker, following the bucket by the Celtics. Clock is at 3. Great D that time from Tatum.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department.
Oh, what a slam!
Clean that up.
And the advantage they have starting to increase. Things are coming together for them at a really opportune time.
And they need to stay aggressive on defense so they can protect that lead with everything they've got.
Beyond the lead, you can see his feet weren't set on that screen. Easy call.
Also, the ball handler needs to wait until the screener's feet are set.
Jonathan Kuminga. He's checked in for C.J. McCollum. Now, here's Tatum. They lead by their biggest margin of the game, 9. Outside, White. Latrey. Rebounded by the Hawks. Outside, Daniel. Johnson, a wide open look. Atlanta again, missing.
All the energy is on the other side right now, and every miss just makes it worse.
Yeah, it's just time to settle everything down. Get high percentage looks and then D up.
And they pick up 2. Tatum's got the lead up to 11 now for Boston.
Well, you know Jason Tatum can score, and that's exactly what he's done thus far.
That's just a smart play right there. The right pass to a ready shooter.
Here are the Celtics with the ball. They're on a 17-6 run. To the inside. Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession.
And here's a look at some numbers for Jason Tatum. This last month, he's been positively spectacular, averaging 29 points per game, over 2.5 steals and 7 rebounds. And guys, he can just explode for points anytime he steps on the court.
You want to be a successful team in this league, you need to find someone that you can feed the ball to and count on to score.
Now, here's Kuminga. They look to him for part of their offensive attack. Right now, he averages nearly 12 points a game. Alexander Walker with the ball. He's covered by Pritchard. And a miss there on the triple.
Just hasn't been his night so far, and if he's unable to find his rhythm, this might be a long night for them.
Here's Daniels. And Pritchard pulls it down.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
Here's Tatum, and that's off the glass and in. And that's 21 points for Jason Tatum.
Oh, another huge night for Tatum. One of the top scorers in the NBA. Jason beats you in so many different ways.
And Quinn Snyder wants a timeout. This now will give him a chance to discuss some potential changes. Tim, in your career, you've played at every level of basketball, pro and college and before. What's the single biggest change in your mind as far as professional basketball outside the NBA?
Well, Kevin, I think globally the level of play has just risen dramatically. There's a much greater belief now that you can actually make it to the league, even if you're playing outside this country. And then the G League has created a much more streamlined path for those who want to work their way into the league.
G League has been terrific.
Sure has.
The Celtics making a switch here. The Hawks trail by 9. And here's Daniels. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Kuminga the pass to Alexander Walker. Fires the 3. Drains it from beyond the arc. Alexander Walker's got 5 now.
Oh, what an ugly start to this quarter. Only 1 of 8 from the field.
Over in the corner, Brown. Cash money, Brown with the tray.
He's found his rhythm here in the second half. Let's see if they keep calling his number.
1:39 left to play in the third. Johnson outside. Pass to Kuminga. That's good, and it's Johnson with the assist. He's got 7.
Well, I'm certain on the scouting report they are going to live with Kuminga taking that shot. But maybe that scouting report is going to change.
Here's Garza. And again, it's Boston with the 3.
It's been this way since halftime. Tremendous production from beyond the arc.
They have found a weakness in the defense, and it's on their ability to defend the three-point line.
And Atlanta has possession following the three-pointer by Boston. And Kuminga throws it down.
Man, it's like he's jumping off a trampoline. Kuminga that time going high for the jam.
There's 53 seconds left here in the third quarter. Pritchard against Daniels. Celtics passing it around. Pass to Brown. Fires for three. That's no good. He's 5 of 10 from the field. The Hawks trail by 7. Now Daniels. We've got 22 seconds left in the third. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
Well, Daniels is a big wing, and he is aggressive around the rim.
Over in the corner, Pritchard hits it from three-point range. Pritchard's got 8.
And I want to see more of that from him. I mean, he's been passing up on his shot more than usual, even though he's hitting the ones that he takes.
And so it's the Boston Celtics in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. And the three-point shot has been big for them. We'll return shortly. And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
Well, coaches love unselfishness, and this is exactly what they're referring to.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. So Johnson sitting on the bench. Here's the 5 for Quinn Snyder right now. They've got McCollum, Jonathan Kuminga out there with Kispert. Then there's Ricochet, and it's Landale in at the 5, roaming the paint. Now Brown, after the missed 3 from Corey Kispert. Here's Hauser. Landale grabs the miss.
He typically dominates that area of the floor. It just didn't drop.
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And potential has really been the key word with Jonathan Kuminga. And each season, he seems to be gaining more and more confidence.
Taking 2 shots.
And the second free throw, good. Boston with the ball. They've led by as many as 11 points. Pass to Pritchard. Back to Brown. Here's Hauser. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Brown's got his 5th assist in this one.
Defensively, you can't afford to give him that kind of look, especially down this many points.
One more miscommunication at the defensive end. Just brutal. It can't happen.
And he may not be the biggest or strongest guy in the league, but McCollum's got ball skills other guys can only dream of.
Boston leading by 8. Brown right side. Inside. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. He's got his first points of the night.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
And here's McCollum for 3 as he pulls it in.
Well, he made a couple of shots early, but since the half, he just can't seem to find his rhythm.
And here's Brown outside. Rebound by the Hawks. Pass to Ricochet. And here's McCollum. Jacks up a 3. Nailed from three-point land. McCollum's got 29 in the game.
McCollum has a nice feel for catch-and-shoot jumpers. That's a shot they want to create for him as much as possible.
Here's Shireman. Brown outside. Fails to score here. He has made 5 of 12 to this point. McCollum outside. From past the arc. As he pulls it in. Boston leading by 7. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Good on the triple.
Well, the defense was a little soft right there, and it made it a practice shot.
And we'll have a timeout called by Quinn Snyder. Wants to make sure everybody's coordinated and intent. O'Connor's checked in for offense. Now, let's take a minute to talk to Allie LaForce courtside. Allie.
Well, Quinn Snyder had some words for his team over the break. He told his guys to, quote, turn it up, going on to say, only way we get out of this hole is with effort, incredible effort. So show me what you can do out there. It's a big ask, but we'll see what happens. Back to you.
And Allie, thanks so much. And it's Brown missing.
Well, fortunately, as he searches for his scoring rhythm, they still have the lead for now.
Hawks passing it around. A three from McCollum. The rebound by Cato.
Well, his three-pointer just hasn't been there in the second half.
Brown dishes to Tatum. Brown feeling out a bit. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
Nothing going his way this quarter offensively. Time to recalibrate.
Gets it to go from beyond the arc. McCollum's got 10 points here in the second half.
In that first half, guys, they didn't shoot nearly as many threes as they have here in the second, trying to use that shot to stay in the game.
And it's White missing. The Hawks trail by 7. Down low. Rizachet wide open. They grab their own miss. Outside, Kuminga. Kispert wide open. He fires. Misses the three.
And even without that three ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last
play. The Hawks shooting pretty well at 46% from the floor. And here's Kispert from the arc. That fall. Nice feed that time from McCollum. McCollum's got 4 assists now tonight. Now here's Tatum. Here's Brown. Tatum passes to White. Now Hauser, defended by Kuminga. Here's White, and they come right back with their own three-pointer. And the Celtics lead by 9. McCollum against White. McCollum looking it over. Pass to Rizachet. That three off the mark.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough openings to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. So it's the Hawks after the basket by Boston. And here's McCollum for three. Connects from three-point range. McCollum's got 35.
Yeah, McCollum is a real danger at the arc. He's an efficient long-range bomber.
Tatum kicks to White. Here's Brown. Takes the three. McCollum there for the rebound.
And even though he didn't get a piece of that shot, you love the pressure he puts on the shooter.
And sometimes that's all you need to do to force that miss.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
Celtics leading by 6. Now Brown. Now here's Tatum. Knocks down the three.
And certainly they are not hesitating, letting it fly from deep here.
And timeout is called by Quinn Snyder. And that timeout by coach was carefully measured. Wanting to make sure that everybody is on the same page here. So for the Hawks, Jalen Johnson's checked in for Jonathan Kuminga. Alexander Walker comes in for Kispert. And Dyson Daniels subbed in for Rizachet. They double-team McCollum. Johnson, oh, what a finish!
Well, for what he lacks in height, he more than makes up for it with his bounce.
Here's Kata. White outside. Leaves it in off the window.
And that's just cold-blooded right there. He's taking no prisoners
Yeah, with each bucket, he denies any thought of a comeback.
And so it's McCollum with it. He brings it up for Atlanta. They trail by 9 points. Here's Okongwu. And he banks the layup in.
Well, with his ability to both score and facilitate, McCollum really fits the combo guard label.
Here's Hauser. It's guarded by Johnson. White. No good from 3. The Hawks trail by 7. Now Okongwu. They double-team McCollum. Dyson Daniel. The 3 doesn't go. And so it's Boston with it. On the wing run. Here's Keita, covered by Okongwu. Here's White. Connects with the chin.
Very difficult to stop team play when the ball's moving. Excellent find with the pass to create that scoring opportunity.
White against McCollum. Launches it. Buries the deep ball.
Well, C.J. McCollum rising to the occasion. What a clutch performance.
And an intentional foul right there.
Second personal foul. First team foul.
6-point game.
What a great defender. There's a reason they call Daniels the Great Barrier Thief.
They double-team McCollum. Outside Daniel. Now Okongwu. Got it to go off the glass.
Every coach in this league loves assisted baskets. It indicates your offense is flowing the way it's supposed to.
Johnson fires. Off target from outside. And he commits the intentional foul.
Honestly, just doing what they have to in order to get the basketball back.
Second team foul. At the line, Derek White. At the line for 2 shots.
Good on the first, and that puts them up by 5. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 6-point ball game.
And that's curtains for him. Some really good work in the charity stripe to close this one out.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. 8 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Any ideas on strategy being discussed right now in that huddle?
Still a sliver of hope.
And it has to be a quick hitter. There is no time to waste.
First personal foul. Third team foul. At the line for 2, Nomias Keita.
So the first one drops, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And a tough break is his second attempt at the line. No good. So it's the Celtics picking up the win. They didn't make it easy on themselves or their fans, but in the end, everyone's satisfied.
I mean, there were some times that momentum shifted, and especially early on, but let's give this group a lot of credit for that stick-to-itiveness in terms of finishing out and executing that game plan.
Let's now hear from Allie LaForce, who is courtside with our player of the game.
Jason, with you guys being such a young team, how do you continue to improve to reach your potential?
We got to watch film. I mean, we did a lot of good things today. So a lot of things we could have done better. And we just got to be focused, composed, play with a lot of poise, and we'll be fine.
Poise normally comes with experience, but because you're so young, you're finding it early. Congrats.
Terrific, Allie. Thanks. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. Along with Tim Legler, Greg Anthony, and Allie LaForce, this is Kevin Harlan saying thank you once again for being with us here tonight on 2K Sports. But as we go, let's take a look at our player of the game, Jason Tatum.